Hello everyone, my name is Lalita and in this video we are going to talk about Android application components which are being used in order to make any Android application. So let's discuss. There are 5 main components that form a part of the Android application. They are namely as activities, intents, services, content provider and broadcast receiver. Well, our Android application is actually made up of all these different components. So let me explain you all of these components one by one. So let us first discuss what is the activity. An activity represents a single screen with a user interface. In short, activity performs actions on the screen. That means activity is a first visual screen which we'll see when we are opening any Android application. So you might have seen different screens in the Android application and all of them are called as activity. For example, email application. And in that application, one activity that shows a list of emails, another activity shows compose an email, and another activity for reading email. If an application has more than one activity, then one of them should be marked as the activity that is presented when the application is launched. Now, the next component is intent. So, what is intent? Intent is a messaging object which is used to request an action from another component. That means intent facilitates communication between different components. Intents are basically used start an activity, start a service, pass data in same application or different application. There are two types of intents, explicit intent and implicit intent. Explicit intents means communication between two activities inside the same application, and implicit intent communication between two activities of different application. Now the next component is a service. So what is service? A service is a component that runs in the background to perform long running application. There are lots of Android services which runs at the background, like just for example, you are downloading any music application. So a downloading process is actually being happen at the background or backend. That is actually called as service. For example, a service might play music in the background while the user is in different application, or it might fetch data over the network without blocking user interaction with an activity. Now the next component is content provider. So what is content provider? Content provider are useful to exchange the data between the apps on the request. That means it's just like a middleman which is actually request from database and then actually retrieve the data from the database and send back to the application. The content provider can share the app data that stores in the file system or SQLite database on the web or any other storage location that our app can access. Now the next component is broadcast receiver. So what is broadcast receiver? Broadcast receiver is a component that will allow a system to deliver event to the application, just like sending a low battery message to the application. Thank you.